look at that. Ooh. Oh. Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and yes, my hat is on backwards. My hair is driving me nuts, so I'm just using it to keep it out of my face while I work on stuff. It's at that stage where it's getting annoying, but we're going a distance with it. Today, I'm trying to get this thing running to the point where I can drive it down the road. I have taken it out on the road few times and had a few problems here and there. One of the things that happened, the front brake was dragging and kind of got hot and then kind of locked up on me when I was out going around the block a few times there. And so I've got that off, and I'm in the process of working on that, which I'll show you in a minute, and a few other things. And I had to go and search out a seat. There was no seat. The seat that was on here was completely rotted out. I don't know if you've seen, well, probably in the early videos on this series. I was taking the seat off. It's just rotted right out. There's no cover on it. It's just a bunch of old foam and rusted seat bucket and all that. And so I made a pretty sweet barter for a seat. It's not an actual seat for an XS650, but it's a seat that I'm able to make it work, and I got it on there and stuff. And it's kind of funny looking when you first see it, but it suits the bike in the way that it's it's practical, and it's not going to absorb any rainwater and that kind of thing. So I'll be showing you that in a bit, and then I've been trying to get this video together over the last little while. Last week I got quite sick, and I was home from work, and I kind of really couldn't do a whole lot, and kind of started recording some stuff, and then and then things would happen, and anyways it just started to fall apart on me anyways. But I'm back now. And now I got this front brake issue, so I'm trying to sort that out. And then I posted a video about the cam being out one tooth. That was fun. So I had to, take the engine out of the frame and sort that out. And now I've got it running pretty good. As far as timing goes, the stuff, it starts up. I can actually kick it over one kick and it'll start no problem. And it seems to idle pretty good. I seem to be having a little bit of a problem in that mid-range, so when it comes off of idle and then it's going up into the top range of the throttle, it's got lots of top and it's good on the bottom, but in the middle, that transition portion, I suspect there's probably some kind of a leak, like an intake leak. Like, I'm thinking maybe the butterfly throttle flaps, the shaft where it goes through the body of the car, maybe it's leaking there or something. I'm not quite sure. These carbs were pretty bad when I first started, so I'm lucky that it even runs at all with them on there. So that being said, it's rideable. It's just got a little bit of hesitation in the middle, and hopefully later on in the video I'll take it out and you'll probably see what I mean. But it's definitely rideable. It has lots of bottom, and it rolls off idle super easy, and it's you can bump it up to gears quite quick, and it'll pick it up and go. And it still smokes a little bit. I think it's getting better though. It seems to smoke when you're on it, like you're giving her throttle, and when you back off it kind of puffs a little bit, but it's not too bad. If you're just driving it easy, it doesn't really smoke that much, which is good. So hopefully that will eventually go away. I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't know for sure. Anyway, so I got all the the front brake stuff here apart. So here's the master cylinder. This is the reservoir for it. Here's the front caliper piston and the caliper housing. And so I took everything apart, and I thought I better, you know, kind of stop and just show you what I was doing here. And there was a couple of little things I wanted to show you here. I'm gonna get you on my, you know, some of you guys probably done this. If you haven't, I'll just show you what I had to do to get this piston out. You know, you need compressed air. So I left this, like, here's where the brake line attaches right here. So I left that hooked up, so that was still hooked up, and this was still full of fluid. And then I took, this is the bleeder, you know, valve right here. And so I backed that right out, and then I got this little, you know, air sprayer thing, and I put a little rubber piece of hose around the end just to give it a bit of a gasket. And then, so charged my compressor up full, and it didn't take much at all actually. And with the hose connected here, because you need this blocked off, I just hooked this into here and just gave it a quick little shot, boom boom pop, and it popped out. And of course I aimed it, I have a jug down on the floor, then I kind of aimed it down at the jug and went like this, and pop, it just popped out instantly. And of course it sprayed brake fluid all over the place, so you got to be ready for that. But I mean, it works like a charm, like instantly. And then one of the things I was going to show you in here, there's a whole bunch of like sludge and stuff. Like, look at this. You see that? So, you know, we got to get that out of there. So, you know, it's good to clean this out. I don't have a rebuild kit for this, so I'm just, you know, taking it apart. I'm going to clean everything and put it back together. You know, it's this, there's a seal right here. I don't know, hopefully you can see it, this seal. And you could, in your rebuild kit, you would just pick this out with, you know, something like this, right? Fish this out and then replace it. But I'm not going to do that because, you know, it's still intact. And those rebuild kits, actually, they're not cheap. You know, you're looking at, you know, 50, 60 bucks for rebuild kit, depending on, you know, the model and stuff. And then I'll probably just take some, you know, like, you know, fine sandpaper, just clean this up a little bit. It's not bad. I've seen it way worse than this. This is fine. So we'll reuse that. And then one of the things I was going to show you guys. So here's the master cylinder. So here's all the plunger and stuff. So this goes on here like this, like so, and this goes down into the bore here, and this, so this is like this, okay, like two little rubber cups. This one's still quite flexible and there's no rips in it, so it's fine. And the same with this one, it's still flexible. So don't need a rebuild kit, just need to clean everything up, which I've already cleaned these parts. And as far as this down inside here, it was a little bit gunked up, but what I did is I took some sandpaper and I just wrapped it around a drill bit, taped it off, and then kind of made a, you know, homemade hone, and just, you know, ran this in and out, and then that got that nice and clean. Like, you know, I wouldn't, you know, spend too long in there, but I just, you know, gave it a good little cleaning, and it kind of resurfaced. It actually looks pretty nice and clean down in there. And then what I was gonna show you also, I've taken these apart before, and you see down here there's two holes here. There's a big one and a small one, and sometimes this little small one gets crudted up with stuff so tight that there's nothing will pass through there, and you might think that it's not a hole going through, because you can't even really see it from this side. But believe it or not, that is a really tiny little hole, and it needs to be clear. So I'm talking about this one right here. It's a really small hole, like a pilot jet size hole. And so that needs to be clear, and then obviously this one needs to be clear too. I had this type of thing apart. I had one of these apart from my Honda CB650, and it has a similar thing, and this was plugged solid, but I wasn't sure if it was a hole there or not, or what. It was just so corroded, eh? And so I put it all back together, and it wouldn't work, and then finally I figured out that this actually needs to be cleared out. So there's that, and then there's a little rubber O-ring on the rim of this. It goes around here, and you can pick that out and change that. This is for the reservoir, and it just kind of clicks on. So, but I'm just in the process of cleaning these parts up, and you got to be careful when you're popping this off. You don't punch a hole through it. Obviously, if these are sun baked and you know, brittle, and you go and get a screwdriver or something to pop this off, it'll probably break, and you'll have to replace it. But you can get these in the rebuild kit. You just get one that has a fluid reservoir. Basically, so here's the brake pads here. There's plenty of wear left on these, so I'm just gonna clean those up and reuse them. And yeah, I'm just gonna be really careful with what I use on all these rubber parts. I'm just gonna use WD-40 and just clean all this rubber off with WD-40. And then what's left in here will be just the metal bits, and then I'll get some kerosene and I'll clean everything else up and get everything looking good. And I'll bring you back when I go to put it all back together, okay? Okay, got all the brake parts all cleaned and laid out here, ready to put back together and hopefully make it work properly. Alright, I got some brake fluid and some of this it's like a white grease for putting on the slides and stuff, and you need a pair of sword clip removers. I filed down the tips of these so they'd fit the small sword clip. They're a little bit large and they wouldn't fit in the holes. But other than that, you don't need a whole lot of tools for this. Just basic stuff, really. So let's get started. We'll put together the master cylinder first. And so I just got some .3 brake fluid. I'm going to put some in the cap. And use a Q-tip here, so I can use it to assemble some of this stuff. Just helps things slide in there. It's better than putting it together dry. Just putting a little bit down in the bore. And then the spring goes down with the wide end in first. Just putting a little bit of brake fluid around that. And then this here, this is like the plunger part. Put a little bit of brake fluid on here. And this should slide in. There. And there's this snap ring It goes on. And this is where you grab your snap ring pliers. Get a hold of it. There. Alright, then we'll go to pop this reservoir back on. Put a little bit of brake fluid on there. I believe, yeah, it goes like that. This thing should pop on it. There we go. Alright. This rubber piece goes on. Like so. I clean these screws up on the wire wheel. Put them back. I gotta put some brake fluid in it yet, so just kind of tighten these up slightly. Just kind of hold it for now. Put our brake light switch back on. This goes on like so. There's this master cylinder is actually for a Honda CB650, so it's totally different than the Yamaha XS650 master cylinder. I think the Yamaha one is, this part's round, and I mean it's going to be similar components and stuff, but so this piece of rubber is supposed to protect this from getting corroded and stuff getting in there, and it got kind of ripped up when I took it apart. So what I think I'll do is I'll just pack a bunch of this grease in there and then put it back on there, kind of in hopes that it'll kind of hold everything, hold this grease in and help keep it somewhat protected from the elements. Like I said earlier, I don't have a rebuild kit for this, but maybe down the road I'll get one. But until then, I'll just pack that thing full of grease and we'll call it a day. And then same thing with this here. I'll pack this full of a bunch of grease on it too. Take our fancy screw, it should just go down in there. There we go. the little lock nut on here. Cinch that up a bit. Make sure it works. Oh yeah. I think this thing's just destroyed. I have to pull it right out of there. Yeah, just gonna have to do without for now. I'll try to repack that with grease. Try to keep the air off it as much as possible anyways. That's more or less how that goes together. It'd be nice to get a rebuild kit for this down the road, but it should work like that. And then we'll put that off to the side for now. So here's our caliper, and it cleaned up pretty good inside there. There's some pitting and stuff, but for the most part, it's not too bad. I'm just going to put some brake fluid around in here. Try to help it along. And then our piston. There was a couple of little pits in the chrome right here. There's nothing you can really do about that. Hopefully it's on the outside of the seal and it doesn't. I think it is. I think that's where like the seal's back in here, and this is actually sticking outside of it, so it should be okay. See if I can get this in. Yeah, so yeah, I got the piston going in now, nice and smooth. Just gonna go that far. We can get our rubber on. Just a little dust cover. sure that's clear before we put it on. Put our bleeder valve in here. And just sort of finger tight for now. Okay. I'll pack this full of grease. Goes on there like so. Now this thing should slide easily. It's the slide thing, and it was kind of stuck before, but you want to make sure that it's doing its thing. Got these little pins. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on here too. Hold on. Okay, and then this one goes in here like so. Yeah, like so. And then there's these little holes in these pins, and then this slides in there like so, and then it just tucks over there like that. And then That's when this window thing hooks onto there, closes down on there. And then gets put together. Like so. And that's the caliper put together. And that should be wide enough apart to get on. And I could probably bolt this onto the bike now. Take my gloves off. I'll give it. Kind of made it all greasy. Put this back together, but I think we're good. Oh yeah, I wanted to torque those down. Just want to make sure that those are nice and tight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then just want to make sure that this bolt here was tight. Yep. Okay, I think that can go on the bike now. Just making sure that slides over the rotor. And then these go on like so. And just give those the proper torquing. Okay, so now hook up the brake line. A couple of banjo washers, top, and then like so. That's pretty tight. I think, yeah. Much better. So now gonna fill up this reservoir. Let's top this off. There we go. Okay, it's kind of working. Put up a little bit. I'll start opening and closing the bottom. I think that's got it. Yeah, I think that's got it. I'll just give that a little top up. That's tight. That's tight. There. So that's got a good feel to it now. And hopefully it's not locking on, but it's working. Yeah, no, it feels good. Okay, that feels excellent. Right on. So I think that problem with the brakes is now solved. So hopefully no more dragging brake. There's a bit of work to get that sorted out, but you know, it's got to be done. And I was planning on doing it anyways. I just thought I'd get a little further than that. But that's all cleaned up. Not rebuilt, but it's cleaned up and working a whole lot better. Guys, just doing this quick video on my cell phone. So I need to get a seat for the Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse bike. And, you know, budget's tight. So anyways, I worked out this crazy barter. And I got some, this guy had this crazy seat. He's local, just down the road. And it's like a really nice seat. It's not for an XS650 though. But nonetheless, it's in really good shape. And I'm like, oh man, I really want that seat. And And I was talking to the guy, and he's like, well, what do you got in the trade? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Most of my stuff is junk. But anyways, we worked out a deal, and I'm going to trade him this thing here. It's it runs, but it doesn't make power. And I'm not super knowledgeable about generators. It's and the fuel tank's all messed up. I told the guy all about all this. It's all rusted in there. Caps all. I told him that the fuel tank is foobarred, and it's been sitting a while. It does run though. It just doesn't make power and stuff. So he said he's willing to check it out, and I was willing to make the trade. So anyways, when I get back with the seat, I'll show it to you. If it all works out, it's a pretty awesome seat. So I can't wait to show you. Okay. Well, I'm back from doing my barter for the seat, and it's pretty sweet. But it's not the actual seat for this bike, so I'm gonna have to do some fitment fixing on it. But yeah, get a load of this. Isn't that sweet? It even says Yamaha on the back. I think this is actually off a scooter. So, but you know, it's a nice seat. It looks comfortable, and it's in really good shape. You know, it's pretty basic on the bottom, so I don't see why I can't figure out a way to get that to work. I think it was a pretty good trade. That old generator wasn't doing anything for me. It was kind of junk. I was thinking about throwing it out, actually. I was contemplating draining the oil on it and throwing it out. But sure, it's a big seat. I think I can already see on here the front is too high. I might have to like trim this section down a little bit so it sits a little lower. I'll trim it down and then fold back the cover, you know, because yeah, if you look at it, it's a little bit high, and I think if I cut a little bit of it out, it would sit down lower. It's almost too nice for the zombie apocalypse bike. I have to dirty it up or something. I don't know. But yeah, it gives me something to play with anyways. And it's cool. I got to have barter for it, so I like that. That's pretty neat. Anyways, yeah. Not sure when I'm going to start messing around with it, but I just wanted to show you, give you a little update on that. Okay, so that was pretty cool. And you know, kind of looks, you know, a little bit silly, but it is what it is. It's very functional and very, very comfortable. So that part's sorted out anyways. I needed to do something, and it was the most affordable option at the time. Now, moving on, I'm gonna figure out some mirrors for on here so I can legally drive down the road. I got this one on here, but it's you know, it's no good. It's all floppy here. So what I'm gonna do is I got these cheap Amazon mirrors. They're like 20 bucks for the pair, and they're supposed to be, you know, dual sport mirrors, and they kind of like fold in and out of the way. So I'm gonna try to get those on there next, and hopefully that works out, and then I'll have some mirrors, and then we'll take it out for a ride. It's mostly complete now. The only thing I got to do left, well, I'm going to be doing lots of stuff, but I mean, as far as phase one, getting it, you know, roadworthy goes, is I got to figure out a front fender. It's got nothing on there right now. I'm just going to ride it like that. I'm not going very far, but I got this fender here. And this is the fender that came with the zombie bike when I first got it. and it's, you know, it's seen better days. It's all rusted and you know, it's got some dents in it, and so not too worried about preserving it. It's pretty far gone. The inside's, you know, pretty rusted. So I think what I'm going to do in a separate video, I'm going to kind of change this a bit. I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to maybe cut a relief in it here and kind of tilt this in a bit. And then I gotta make a mount that kind of, you know, bolts onto here somehow. And then I want to mount the fender up high, kind of like a dirt bike, just to be well, because I want to. I like it. No other reason other than just you know, aesthetics or whatever. I think it'll look cool like that, so that's what I'm going to do. And but it's going to take a little bit of metal work to get this happening. I got to relocate the horn and a few things, but that's why I haven't done it yet. So that's going to be in a separate video, but that's not going to stop us from riding around today, other than it might be raining a little bit out here. It's kind of wet, so I don't know if it doesn't clear up soon. I might have to abort that plan and do it on another day, or maybe zip tie something on the front there, so I have a fender for the time being. I don't know. Well, we'll see about that. But right now I'm gonna try to figure out these mirrors, so I'm gonna switch you over to. So I haven't opened this box up yet. I don't know how good these are for 20 bucks a pair. It reflects. Well, that's something. Just need something on there so I actually have mirrors, you know. It looks pretty simple. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's how you can change them. Something like that, probably. Or no, hold on. Something like that, I think. Here, actually, those are kind of cool looking on there. I actually quite like these. I wasn't sure if should I go round or square, but I think round kind of goes with the classic this of the bike, you know, like. Oh, that's too tight. Okay, so we are almost ready to go. I just wanted to show you a few things that I added on here. Got a chain guard on here, and I'm not sure if you guys seen the side covers yet. This one's really cool. It's got a nice little design with some pinstriping, and then yeah, no fender, so that's another video. And oh yeah, I put this exhaust band clamp on here just to kind of tie things in better. Here's the other side cover. It's different. It's got no logo on it. It's actually a different shape too. And what else was new? Well, the seat and this rack. I don't know if you guys have seen the rack yet. It's on there nice and solid. And overall, just yeah, this is ready for test drive. I'm just gonna start it up here. Take it out on the road, see how she goes. Alright, so we got the bike out on this side road, secluded area here. I'm just going to take it for a spin and show you how it works. Alright, we'll go for a little scoot. just about wraps it up for season 1 of the Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse bike. And wanted to go for a little ride and show you how it's working. It's not the end of working on this bike, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to be doing some things, fine-tuning and adding stuff to it. But the seasons are changing, and we're going to be, it's now spring and summer's around the corner, and I'm going to be busy doing other stuff, yard work, gardening, and working late at my job and stuff. So working on the bikes is, you know, gets harder and harder. There's less time, even though there's more daylight. But anyways, just wanted to show you down at the beach here where we ended up. Pretty nice spot, eh? Anyways, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. And it's not the end of working on the zombie bike, that's for sure. But you know, things are we're gonna be shifting gears, and I've got some other projects coming up too that I'll tell you about real soon. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Center Stand Mechanics out.